Hello, I welcome to all to special webinar on AWS security. My name is Debashish Roy. I'm the senior network analyst at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. And today we are going to talk about the AWS security background. And let's begin. So we'll discuss the digital infrastructure of the AWS, fortifying the best practices for AWS cloud security. As we know that security is paramount to the cloud. So if your resource you have migrated to the cloud, but it is not secure, it is useless. So definitely the security is a very important part for your cloud. So AWS offers a robust cloud infrastructure, definitely, and security is a paramount here. Securing it requires understanding the best practices. How can you secure your resources in the cloud? There are definitely the VPNs, there is the IAM role, there is the S3 bucket, there is the KMS. So different security practices are there. So we'll explore the essential strategies here to fortify your digital infrastructure and safeguard your assets against threats. So definitely there is some cyber threat, outside attack from attacker or hacker. So definitely you should have a comprehensive security policy. Now AWS operates on a shared responsibility model. It means that security is a joint effort. Now AWS secures the cloud infrastructure while customers must protect their data and applications. So the cloud provider offers the security and we the customers must adhere to it. Understanding this model is crucial for effective security management. Now, one is the IAM role, how to implement the identity and access management. This is like the access control list in the OS level. So it is like the permissions that we say, like the NDFS permissions and the share permissions that we have in different OSs, like the Windows, like the Linux, the same way that is the IAM role. Now we have to utilize the AWS IAM role to manage user access permissions effectively. Now, implement least privilege access means that if you are having full control, full access to a resource, one user, and then you are having other permissions, say read access. So, what is the least? Read access. So, definitely the result is read. So, this is the principle of the least privilege. Now, it ensures users have only the permissions necessary for the roles and they do not have unnecessary permissions. They cannot misuse their permissions. This minimizes the risk of unauthorized access and potential security breaches. Now, you can again implement data encryption. Means like the key management service, you have like KMS for managing the encryption keys. We know that there is a public key and private key, that infrastructure. That public key is used to encrypt your data and the private key is used to decrypt the data, that PKI. So that is part of the KMS. Now, with the KMS, you can encrypt the EC2 instance, you can encrypt the S3 bucket, and this protects sensitive information from unauthorized access, and it ensures compliance with data protection regulations. Again, security groups and network access control list, NACL. That is a part of the firewall rules. Whenever you are going to launch an EC2 instance, you have to have these security groups. You have to allow the RDP in case of, say, the Windows, or SSH in case of Linux. Now, these are essential for controlling inbound and outbound traffic that is done by the firewall rules. And properly configuring these tools enhances a network security posture and helps prevent unauthorized access. So if anybody is trying to hack into your network, you can actually block that access. So you have the power to block any access or regulate the control. So these NACLs and the security groups is a very vital tool for your network security infrastructure. You have to conduct the regular security audits also to identify vulnerabilities and ensure compliance and security policies. Utilizing AWS tools like CloudTrail and Config, you can monitor and log changes, providing insights into your security posture environment. So you have to do the regular auditing or the security auditing. Otherwise, if you do not maintain the logs, if you do not maintain the audits, so then what will happen? Definitely your infrastructure will not be secured. So you have to implement the automated security monitoring using AWS services like GuardDuty and CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a very famous service. It is used as a CloudWatch monitoring service. CloudWatch alarms are set on to warn you about some coming, say, hardware failures or some other hazards. So these tools help detect anomalies and potential threats in real time. So if the server is running, when the cloud server is running, that is a real time, and in that real time environment, it gives you the warning. So you get better prepared before that disaster strikes, allowing for swift action to mitigate risk. So again, backup and disaster recovery. This is also a part of your security because if, say, for example, some disaster has struck, so now if you do not have that backup strategy, then what will happen? Your data has gone. So you definitely have to take a backup strategy. Establish a robust backup and disaster recovery plan. That is also very important. Utilize AWS services such as S3 bucket and RDS relational database like say DynamoDB, MongoDB, these databases for data backup. So you can take the backup in these databases and regularly test your recovery process. This is also very important to ensure business continuity in case of a security falls or security incident. And also you have to educate your team members also by regular training and awareness programs for your teams. Now educate them on security best practices and the importance of adhering to policies because you are having a total security team in the cloud. You are not working alone. So it is definitely important for you to guide the team also, and the proper training is to be there, which fosters a culture of security within your organization. So this is the very important part of your cloud security infrastructure, and you have to stay updated on the security threats continuously because you have to know which threat is emerging. Attackers say, for example, which virus or which threat is emerging every now and then, and you have to continuously monitor for emerging security threats and vulnerabilities. And you have to subscribe to AWS security bulletins and engage with the community to stay informed about the latest security practice and updates, because if you are not at par with the latest development, then you cannot secure your cloud infrastructure. So you cannot be backdated. You have to go forward with the latest trends. Compliance and governance is also important. You have to ensure the compliance with industry regulations by implementing the governance frameworks. Now, the rules and the regulations should be followed tightly. AWS provides tools to help manage compliance, such as AWS Artifact, now which offers access to compliance reports and security documentation. So we can conclude that strengthening security is a very important part for any cloud infrastructure, and fortifying AWS cloud security is an ongoing process. By implementing these best practices, one can significantly reduce risk and protect your digital infrastructure from potential threats. So this is actually the theory discussion about the AWS security part. And now we can actually go to the AWS console. This is the AWS console here, and you can see that I have this IAM, that is the main part of the security posture, that is identity and access management. So that is the IAM dashboard where you can see the MFA, that is multi-factor authentication. So this root user that is logged in here already, it is having the multi-factor authentication, means that say you have to click on this manage access keys, and then you have this MFA. You can see this MFA is already assigned, and you have this access keys also that is active. If the MFA is not there, in that case you have to click on assign MFA device, and you have to give a device name, and you have to choose the authenticator app actually to scan the QR code. So if you choose an authenticator app there, so say I am giving a device name, this is 123, click on next and click on show QR code, you'll see the QR code is there. So it has all the account information. So if you scan the QR code with Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator, so then your account will set up with the MFA. So whenever you are going to log in to your account, not only the password, after giving the password, you have to also give the MFA, that is key, security key. It will be randomly generated in the Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator app. So you have to provide that key. So here you can also create the users. You can also create the specific users, and you can give any username, and you can click here if you want to provide the user access to the AWS management console. Although it is optional, but if you do not check this, then the user won't be able to access anything in the console. And also here you have to select, you want to create, I want to create an IAM user. Otherwise you cannot create IAM user. IAM user, it's a, you can say, not a not a root user. It is not the root account. It is a non-privileged user, and it is having some particular permissions, and you have to give the password also. You can go for auto generated password, then the AWS will itself give a password to the user, or you can go for custom. Say custom, and you give any password. Definitely you have to give some alphanumeric and strong password. Now there is an option, users must create a password and next sign in. So you can keep it checked, but you can also keep it unchecked if you do not want to do that. And next, and that is the main part, you have to attach the policies directly. You can add other user or group. You can copy permission from other group members, like they're having some policies they attach, so you can copy the permission or policies right from them. Or else if you are attaching policy for the first time, then say attach policies directly, and you can search. See, there are different policies, say different roles, so whatever the user is assigned for, so you can actually search here, say Amazon EC2. So just type that, and you'll see a lot of things. Say for example Amazon EC2 full access. If you want, that user will be able to launch the EC2 instance, or if you want, it will not be able to launch. It will only be able to read the list of the EC2 contents or several options, but it won't be able to launch the instance. So you can check this Amazon EC2 read only access. So there are a lot of roles there, a lot of policies you can see there for the container services also. So whatever services or roles you require, whatever policies, so you have to just check the policies there, and accordingly that user will be selected, and then click on next, and then click on create user. So now the user is created. Now you can see that this console, this sign in URL, username, password, that is there. So you can actually copy and paste that. You can see the account ID, and IAM username. So here you can see the username also. So here is a username, size is 1234, and password. So you have to sign in with that username and password, and definitely you will see that whenever it will be trying to access the EC2, it won't be able to do that. So let's say, so it is login. Now you have to just see it's access denied. It's already having the access denied message to the log service, so it is not having the access to the log also. So you just search the EC2 here, click on the instances, and click on launch instance. You can find all the images there, but see what happens. You say for example have selected the Windows instance, and also you just have a key pair, say any one of the key pairs that is downloaded to your PC, and click on launch instance, and see this error has come. Instance launch failed because I have given this user only the role of the EC2 read only access. So this is the way you can control the operations of users. So this is a classic example of AWS cloud security, how you can implement and manage the AWS cloud security with IAM roles, and also if you implement the KMS, key management service, that is definitely the encryption in the S3 bucket or EC2 instance, you can also encrypt those instances. So there is a lot of security practices there in every cloud, and AWS also is not an exception. So you have to use these security policies to make your infrastructure very secure. So this is the practical that I've shown you how to implement the AWS cloud security. So I hope that it was very useful for you about this cloud security webinar, and you have learned a lot because we have discussed the theory part about the cloud security, different parts of AWS, what are the different services or different tools it has, like from the CloudWatch and for the IAM roles, like you are having an instance running and you can monitor it using the IAM role and also the CloudWatch metric. Like you can have a detailed report also of CloudWatch if you want, but that is a paid one. In the free tier account you cannot get a per second that or per minute log of the CloudWatch, but you can get the log, but it is not a very detailed log. So all these things, they constitute the AWS security posture, and these tools and these definitely these applications, these IAM roles, these actually they constitute the AWS security practices. So I hope that you have got an immense understanding from this webinar about the AWS cloud security as a whole, and you can also safeguard your cloud infrastructure from any potential outside attack after this webinar. So I thank you all for joining this webinar once again, and I will come with some new topic next time. Till then,